Happy Monday. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all are doing well. We'll wait for some people to come on. I hope y'all have had an amazing Monday so far. An amazing start to your week, even though the start of the week is Sunday, actually. Um, but you know what I mean. I love Mondays. I absolutely love Mondays. And I think it's because typically Monday signals the start of something new. Even though Sunday is the beginning of the week, Monday usually signals the work week. We typically rest on Sunday. A lot of people, anyway. Um, but Mondays are just beautiful. I love them. I love a fresh start. And I think at this age and at this stage, which is what we talk about on this channel, reimagining life at any age and at any stage, you can appreciate a fresh start, you know. Um, you know how kids, when they're younger and they have to switch schools, they do that kicking and screaming usually. But I think as we grow, we realize that change is a part of growth, right? So, you know, it's just a beautiful thing that we can have a fresh start. So anyway, when you talk about Mondays, Monday is just a small snippet, a tiny example of a fresh start. Um, but even with that small example, we're going to talk about how does that small example turn into a big thing happening? How bad do we actually want it, you know? Um, how bad do we actually want to achieve the things that we've talked about for so long? Like, we've talked about them, cried about them, been out of breath about them. You know, anybody who would listen, we talked about those dreams, those goals. And then maybe in some cases didn't do them, or was trying to do them, was just in misalignment. And so we get to this stage and we have learned what we have learned. So now what do we do with all that we've learned? And pair that with perseverance. Do we have any perseverance left? Right? But we've got to, because we're still here. We're still here. We're still in the fight. We've still got a lot in us left. We can make whatever happen that we want. But it's about pairing everything that we've learned with who we are right now. The resilient people that we are right now. The learned people that we are right now. The emotionally intelligent people that we are right now. We put all of that together in this big, huge gumbo of potential and put some action with it and actually do it. But the question becomes, how bad? How bad do we really want it? Because a lot comes with saying yes. A lot comes with saying yes. Once you say yes to your destiny, to your potential, once you say yes to what you're called to do, once you say yes, this is what I'm going to do without a shadow of a doubt. Once you say that, a lot comes with it. But it's okay. We've got to be okay in knowing that I was called to do this. This is what I'm going to do. And I will be qualified and equipped to do it. Not only will I be qualified and equipped to do it, I'll be protected while doing it. Now you're talking about your whole nervous system being reset. Because when you're talking about knowing that you're safe, you're protected, and you're unafraid to be who you're destined to be, when you're talking about being unafraid to be who you're destined to be, see, that's one of the biggest problems that we have. For whatever reason, people are afraid to step into the next dimension of themselves. They're scared to take that next step into what God says they should be. But if you really think about it, that's doing the opposite. That's doing the opposite. So if we're going to accept this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and we're actually going to do it, we have to accept what comes with it. And sometimes what comes with it is getting past ourselves in doing it. You know, getting past our own personal idiosyncrasies, getting past our own personal fears, getting past our own personal hang-ups and all of that. We have to get past those things as well. But we don't always want to face that because we feel like automatically, you know, I ought to be able to just come out the gate running and do this. No, it's not going to come without its challenges. Anything that we decide to do is going to come with its challenges, but we got this. Not only do we have it, we're going to thrive. We're going to thrive while doing it. We're not going to just be out here just willy-nilly throwing rice at the wall, seeing what's going to stick. We're actually going to walk in our gifts. We're going to walk in our purpose. We are going to be the creators that we were created to be. And I'm going to say that one again. We are going to be the creators that we were created to be, because yes, we were created to create. And that's what we're about to do. Because we have it in us. We can do it. We can make it happen. What are we waiting on? Seriously, what are we waiting on? You know, I think we get too hung up on the numbers. We get too hung up on the numbers. We get too hung up on the algorithm. We get too hung up on the filters and the thumbnails and the marketing and the just the whole metrics of a thing, as opposed to focusing on, I'm making this decision right now to do a thing. That's where we mess up. Instead of us focusing on taking that step to do a thing, we focus on all of the outside attachments and offshoots to a thing actually happening. So if there's anything that I could say in this moment to myself, to us, to all of us, is how bad do you really want it? Are you willing to put, aside what you need to put aside? Whether it's, some sort of internal fear or inferiority complex, or here's the thing, and I know this is kind of off topic just a little bit, but it's on topic. Do you know why they are calling this whole era the creator economy? They're calling it the creator economy because people are learning how to turn these cameras on and create. They're buying all types of gadgets, all types of phones. They're using these cameras in amazing ways. They're vlogging. They're doing talking head videos. I'm somewhere in I'm figuring it out. But this whole thing is called the creator economy for a reason. It's called that for a reason, which means that somebody is thriving in the creator economy. Why would they call it a creator economy? Because somebody's thriving in it. Why shouldn't it be us? If we have the gift, if we have the talents, why shouldn't it be us? So if we really feel like we can do it, then what's holding us back from doing it? What's stopping us from doing it? And you know what? I think a lot of times it's just us getting comfortable with ourselves. You know, we talk about comfortability on camera. We talk about comfortability in terms of angles and what you've got on. And, you know, we talk about all of these different things. But at the end of the day, how comfortable are we in telling our story? So now you got to go back to, how bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough to learn how to tell your story? Do you get comfortable enough with telling your story to where you can talk about how you got sick and almost left here without crying? Do you want it bad enough to get comfortable with being vulnerable? Being vulnerable. You know, everybody doesn't want to be vulnerable, especially on camera. Because once it's out there, it's out there. I'm sorry, that car next door is kind of loud. But how bad do we want it? Do we want it bad enough to hone our craft? Do we want it bad enough to practice? Do we want it bad enough to keep doing it when nobody's watching? Do we want it bad enough to keep doing it when nobody's watching? Do we want it bad enough? We have to ask ourselves that. Do we want it for the right reasons? Maybe that's why we don't want it bad enough, or why we're not putting forth the action that it takes for it to happen. Maybe we're not wanting it for the right reasons. But in this day and age, if you truly want to free your family in any way, shape, form, or fashion, you have to figure out a way to create more income. And what better way to create more income than to thrive in the creator economy? You know? Y'all, all kind of cars are pulling up. But the point I'm making is this. Do we want it bad enough to get better at what we're doing? That's a question we've got to ask. A lot of times we don't want to practice. We want something overnight. We want something to just magically happen. We don't always want to put forth the effort that it takes, you know, to make something happen. Do you know how many people start and quit YouTube channels? Literally start them and quit them daily. And maybe, I mean, it could be that maybe they're not really finding their niche. You know, it could be that. But at the same time, we're talking about people who are literally on camera. You know what? I take that back. No. Some are on camera and some are not. Some are on camera and some are not. But the fact remains, People are quitting instead of persevering and pushing through and doing the things that they need to do in order to make it happen. And, you know, I mean, myself included, you know, but I've gone on and I've made a pact. I've made a pact with myself that no more, no more procrastination, no more sleeping on myself, none of that, none of that. All of that has to go bye-bye. But it goes back to the main question: how bad do we want it? How bad do we want it? And if the why is in alignment with how bad you want it, because that's important too. Why? Why are you doing it? You know, why? We should want to free our families. We should want our friends to be able to prosper. We should want all of us to be able to make it together. You know, we should want to be able to push each other forward. You know, we should want that. And so if that is our why, we're absolutely going to make it. I mean, we just are. We just are. You know, but again, how bad do we want it? You know, because if you're gonna be on camera, you got to be vulnerable, and if you're not gonna be on camera, you still got to be diligent. You've got to have a regimen. You've got to have a system. You've got to have some help. We can't do it all alone. That's another example of how bad do we want it. Do we want it bad enough to be vulnerable enough to collaborate with people, link up with people, partner with people, barter with people? I mean, of course, it all has to be the right people. It has to be in alignment. It has to be right. It has to be all the things that make sense and make business sense. But at the same time, we've got to be vulnerable enough to say, hey, I'm not a one-man island. You know, I'm not a one-man conglomerate. I'm just not. I mean, there are ways to do it. You can be a solo creator, sure, but you need help with all kinds of other things. And so we have to be willing to say, I was just having a conversation with one of my friend girls a little while ago, and we were talking about some things, I mean, some really big things. And we need what each other have. I need what she has. She needs what I have. It's just a natural thing. And so we work well together in that, but it also takes so much pressure off of just one of us having to do everything. And we help each other meet each other's goals like that. And it's a beautiful thing. So we have to be able to make those types of connections in a line, and it be in a line with, again, how bad do you want it? And when I say how bad do you want it, I don't mean having that hustle type of feel or what have you, because here's the thing, and I'm guilty of this too. You know, for so long we talked about hustle this, hustle hard, hustle this, hustle, hustle or die, hustle or this or hustle or that. And you know, but what I'm finding out is that we don't have to move that way in order to make progress. We don't have to move that way. We don't have to work that hard. We don't have to operate in that vein in order to make the same amazing things happen. We can make so much happen without having to push so hard and hustle so hard and grind so hard. And I think too, when we operate in that vein, when we operate in that hustle hard energy, I think it does some other things that impedes our progress. So I'm just not an advocate of that anymore, you know. Listen, give me the soft, prosperous life all day. That's what I'm talking about. The soft, prosperous life all day. Um, but even with that, how bad do we want it? How bad do we want a soft, prosperous life? That means that, there are some things you got to let go of. There are some things you've got to stop worrying about. There are some things that you just have to let life do what it does when you're talking about leading a soft life. But that's a lesson that we learn, right? And again, how bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough to let some things go so that you can just relax? Relax your nervous system, relax your mind, relax your body, relax the tension that you have just around your life in general. I mean, it's just, there's a whole lot that goes into saying yes to the call that's on your life. And that's different for everybody. I think when we say the call that's on your life, we automatically think about ministry. But when you're operating in the gift that God gave you, it is ministry, because you're able to tell other people, hey, you're a great artist. You should paint. You should really, really look into doing that. You're a great producer. You should look into, doing some stuff in the studio. You're an amazing artist. Get on the track. You are, a dynamic writer. I would love to see some of your finished work. Like, we've got to encourage each other in that manner, and right. I mean, that's the biggest thing is we want to be happy. We want to be happy. And the way to be happy is to finally walk in the energy that we're supposed to have, right? We're supposed to have the best. We're supposed to have the best. We're supposed to have, just amazing things. And when I say things, I'm not talking about just the material things. I'm just leaving my storage facility, okay? So I'm not talking about just material things. I'm talking about we're supposed to just have the best life, period. We're supposed to feel amazing. And we're supposed to feel amazing all the time. Now, some people might not think that that's realistic, but I do believe that we can choose. We can choose to feel good or not. And for the most part, we can have a beautiful life and feel great all the time. Sure, life happens. Things happen. Stuff happens. And I'm not even going to name the things because, hey, we're not even putting a name on those negative things anymore. But we do know they happen, right? I think it's all about how we bounce back from it. How we bounce back from it. What did we learn? And what can we teach other people through? What can we teach other people through operating in our true potential? I think it's a game changer. I think it's a game changer. And if not for you, certainly for me. Certainly for me. And here's the thing. At this stage in the game, and it really doesn't matter your age, because you can have a reset, a start over, you can have an epiphany, you can come up with an amazing game plan for the rest of your life at any time in your life. On this channel, we just so happen to say reimagining life at any age and at any stage. I'm in my 50s. So with me being in my 50s, these are about to be some of the most irresistible 50s ever, because I'm really grasping now what it is to just live here's how I'm going to put it, and I hope it makes sense. I'm about to live the way I want to feel. Does that make sense? I'm about to live the way I want to feel. And I want to feel amazing. I want to feel amazing all the time. And there's nothing wrong with me saying that. I want to feel amazing all the time. And in some ways, for as unrealistic as that may sound, it's very realistic because, again, at this stage in the game, we learn how to make better choices. And in making those better choices, we can choose the things that make us feel one way or another. Now, yeah, there's plenty of stuff out there we don't have any control over. You know, plenty of stuff we don't have any control over. But we're not talking about the stuff that we don't have control over. We're talking about the stuff that we do have control over. And so we're just not going to, we're not going to let life pass us by any longer. That's where we are. That's where we are. At this stage in the game, we are not letting life pass us by at all. We are not leaving any crumbs on the table. We're going for it. We're going for it. So, you know, I just think it's an exciting time. I thank God for the revelation. You know, the fact that we're here. The fact that we're here. And, you know, we'll have story time another time. But the fact that we're here says we can push the reset button from wherever we are, whatever we've got going on, because in reality, we made it to right here. We've still got a shot. The question is, what are we going to do with that shot? How bad do we want that shot? How bad do you want it? That's what it boils down to. How bad do you want it? You know, that's just something that we have to ask ourselves at this point, at this age and at this stage. And I think if we do that, and we answer those questions truthfully, and then we go for it, oh, it's about to be amazing. Y'all, I got something right here, and it's bothering me. It hurts so bad. It's about to be amazing. So, congratulations to us. Congratulations to us. Congratulations to us. Congratulations to us. Oh, wow. Anyway, so you guys have an amazing, amazing Monday. Have an amazing, amazing week. And we're going to start having more of these chats. How about that? All right. We're going to break this thing down little by little. Okay? So, anyway. All right, y'all have a good night. Oh, don't forget to subscribe. All right. Thanks. Love you guys. Good night.